Hello, everyone. Welcome to this transformative session on breaking free from self-imposed limits. Today, we're going to dive deep into how hidden mental barriers can keep you stuck, even without you realizing it. And, more importantly, how you can break those chains to become the person you know you can be. We all have beliefs about ourselves that seem so natural and fixed, but often, these are simply limits we impose on our potential. In today's session, I'll show you how to recognize these self-imposed limits and take practical steps to overcome them. Let's start by exploring what self-imposed limits really are. These are the beliefs, habits, or mental shortcuts that tell you what you can or cannot do. You might have heard yourself say things like, "I'm just not good at public speaking," or "I'll never be successful at this new project." These aren't facts, they're outlooks, conditioned by past experiences, societal expectations, or sometimes even our own fears. Imagine your mind as a room filled with windows. Each window represents an opportunity. But if those windows are covered with heavy curtains, our self-imposed limits, we only see a fraction of what's possible. Today, we're removing those curtains. Now, I'd like you to think about your current beliefs for a moment. What are some things you think you cannot do? Don't worry about being perfect here. Just jot down what comes to mind. For example, maybe you believe you're not creative, or feel too shy to network, or worry that your abilities are fixed. These are common self-imposed limits. They're often automatic thoughts that arise when you face challenges, what I like to call your inner critic. Here's a quick exercise. Write down one or two negative statements about yourself that pop up when you face a challenge. It might be as simple as, "I'm not smart enough," or "I always fail at this." We'll work with these ideas shortly. If you need a minute now, pause this video and take a moment to jot them down. Welcome back. Now that you've identified some of your self-imposed limits, let's understand where they come from. Often, they stem from past experiences or messages we've accepted as truth. For instance, maybe someone once told you that you weren't cut out for a particular task, or you had an early setback that made you believe success was out of reach. It's important to remember that these limits are not inherent faults. They are simply learned behaviors. Our brains are wired to be cautious. They remember pain and discomfort as a way to protect us. However, what served as a defense mechanism in the past can end up blocking new opportunities today. Let me share a quick story. I once met a young professional who believed he wasn't cut out for leadership because he had failed in one management role early in his career. With time and the right approach, he learned to reframe that failure, not as a verdict on his abilities, but as a learning experience. He worked on his skills, and today he leads a successful team. This transformation began when he understood that his earlier belief wasn't a limitation, but rather a temporary setback he could overcome. Let's now explore some practical strategies to overcome these self-imposed limits. Challenge your inner critic. When negative thoughts creep in, question them. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Who defines my abilities? Replace self-defeating statements with empowering ones, like turning "I'm not creative" into "I can develop creativity with practice." Set micro-challenges. Instead of trying to overhaul your worldview overnight, set small, achievable challenges. If you're afraid of public speaking, start with a 5-minute talk among friends. Each small step builds your confidence and chips away at the false limits you've set. Embrace a learning attitude. See each setback as a mini lesson rather than a failure. Remind yourself that every expert was once a beginner. This isn't about being perfect. It's about continuous improvement and learning from every experience. Reinforce new beliefs regularly. Consistency is key. Incorporate daily affirmations and visual reminders of your potential. Write a mantra that challenges your old beliefs. Something like, "My potential is limitless, and each day I grow stronger." Place this where you can see it every day. Let's put these strategies into action. I want you to choose one of the negative statements you wrote down earlier. Now, rewrite it as a positive affirmation. For instance, if your statement was, "I always fail," turn it into, "I learn and grow from every experience." Take a minute now to do that exercise. Great job. Know that each time you consciously rewrite these beliefs, you are opening up new mental pathways and gradually clearing away those limiting curtains. Breaking free from self-imposed limits isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process. Each day presents new challenges where those old beliefs might try to creep back in. The key is to view this process as a journey of continuous self-discovery. Here's how to sustain these changes. Daily reflection. At the end of your day, take a few minutes to reflect on moments when you challenged your self-imposed limits. Celebrate even the small wins. Surround yourself with positivity. Engage with people, books, or podcasts that inspire you to think beyond your limits. Set regular check-ins. Perhaps once a week, review your progress and adjust your strategies as needed. Ask yourself what new limits you might be forming and how you can proactively dismantle them. Remember, transformation is gradual. Each time you overcome a limiting belief, you build a stronger, more resilient self. It is not about eliminating the voice of caution completely, but about ensuring that your internal dialogue supports your potential rather than restricts it. Today, we learned that self-imposed limits are simply barriers built from learned beliefs and past experiences, not inherent truths about who you are. By challenging your inner critic, setting micro-challenges, and reinforcing new, positive affirmations, you can gradually clear those mental boundaries. Every time you break free from a limiting belief, you open up more windows to the opportunities waiting around you. I invite you to continue practicing these strategies every day and observe how your mindset, and ultimately your life, transforms. Thank you for taking this step with me today. As you move forward, keep rewriting your story in a language of possibility and growth. In our next session, we'll explore how to shift your perspective even further by rewiring the way you see challenges. Until then, keep challenging those limits and remember, your potential is as great as you choose to believe.